Hi guys, I hope I'm mistaken, but I believe politicians and political commentators have it completely wrong when they think that Donald Trump is raising tariffs in order to negotiate trade deals with countries around the world. Some of those places don't even have people in them. Now, Labour at least officially want to do some sort of deal with the US president, which would see tariffs reduced. But I believe the government and those commenting on this are in a mindset that tells them that Trump is a rational actor who you can sit down and hammer out a deal with. And I believe they're wrong.
If the UK can do a US trade deal, it will be a massive deal for Keir Starmer. Can I start with you on that, Lucia, and everyone can have a go?
Yeah, look, I think that will be a big win for him. And as Seb pointed out, Giorgia Meloni, very much an ideological ally of Trump. What Starmer really cleaves to is the sort of personal rapport he has with Trump. They don't have the same politics at all, but personality-wise, Starmer has worked hard to try and build this relationship. All that said, the UK is clearly not at the front of the queue. We've all been watching very closely the Japanese trade team that flew into Washington this week and has left without clinching a deal. So we're not going to be the top of the queue. But if we can get the automotive 25% levy down, that would be a win. I think optimism is fading on Whitehall to do anything around the 10% universal baseline.
I think that's right. The 10% tariff is going to be universal, and the Trump administration have said, although the rhetoric does change somewhat, this is not going anywhere. I think the big win for the UK is actually going to be pharmaceuticals, because the Trump administration have said this 25% levy is incoming. The UK's pharmaceutical industry employs 73,000 people. It's huge export to America. If we were hit with those tariffs, it would be very bad. But I think we should be very clear-sighted that this is not going to be a full-blown, all-singing, dancing trade deal. It's going to be a compact that covers several areas. It will have things on AI, it will have things on digital services, but it's not going to cover goods because no one wants to start talking about chlorinated chicken and beef and all those kind of things.
Okay, look, I'm not as intelligent as these individuals. Let me put that on the table first of all. But if you listen to Donald Trump, what has he been saying over the last number of months? He keeps demanding that other countries buy American products. So I'm not of the idea that Donald Trump is interested in doing a deal with the UK, a deal that would actually benefit the United Kingdom. Donald Trump wants the UK in the same way as he wants Europe, he wants Japan, he wants other countries around the world to buy American stuff. When it came to NATO, Donald Trump said, you need to increase your spending, but you also need to buy our equipment. Now, when it comes to these tariffs, he keeps saying, we have this terrible deal with Europe. We buy their stuff, but they don't buy ours. And he keeps saying the same thing. Now, I could be wrong here. It's possible that Keir Starmer could sign some sort of agreement with Donald Trump. But if you listen to what Trump says, and of course, Trump is not somebody who's reliable, he's not somebody who you can trust. But if you listen to what he keeps rambling on about, he keeps saying about how other countries trade with the US in an unfavorable way. That America buys too much from them and they don't buy enough from the United States. And he has repeated on a number of occasions, beef, cars, goods, all sorts of things. And he wants that to change. So I don't see a scenario where the UK could sign a trade deal with Donald Trump's America and not accept something like hormone-treated beef or chlorinated chicken. Because Trump keeps saying, you need to buy these things. His Commerce Secretary, I don't know if you can see him on the screen next to Trump there, he was saying the same thing. We have this beautiful beef that we want to sell to Europe. We have this beautiful beef we want to sell to the UK. They need to buy it. We need to sell it to them. We need to change the current agreement, the current process of trade. They need to buy more of our stuff and we need to buy less of theirs. So, with that framing, where do you see a trade deal? Where do you see Keir Starmer returning to the UK after meeting with Donald Trump and saying, here I have a wonderful trade deal that benefits the United Kingdom? I don't see that. Now, if Trump does eventually reduce the tariffs, it will be unrelated, I believe, to any negotiations he's had with the Japanese or with the UK or with the European Union. He tends to just remove these willy-nilly. let's try this for a bit. Oh, it doesn't work. Let's try something else. It's chaotic. So we're trying to rationalize somebody who's irrational. We're trying to understand why somebody wants to go down a certain road when it doesn't make any sense. And at the end of the day, even if the UK does sign some sort of agreement, I have a feeling it's going to be, of course, more in favour of the US. Because Donald Trump and the people around him are constantly talking about America first. So in what world do you see Britain benefiting from an America first trade agreement?